Hi, I'm John Scholes, President and CEO of the Downtown Seattle Association. Welcome to Seattle Speaks. I'm focusing our series now on reopening and recovery in downtown Seattle, speaking with leaders of businesses, organizations, nonprofits, and other institutions on the steps they've taken to reopen their doors to their workers, their customers, and in this case, their members. I'm at the Washington Athletic Club today with Chuck Nelson, President and CEO of the Washington Athletic Club. Great club, nonprofit institution, landmark building in downtown Seattle. Chuck, thanks for taking time to speak with us today.
Yeah, our pleasure.
We're here.
We're excited for recovery.
Yes, we all are. We're looking forward to reopening recovery and doing it safely. And you've taken a lot of steps to do that. You know, the WAC, I think of it in many ways as sort of a city within a city. And we've communicated over the last couple of weeks of all that you've had to manage, from restaurants and bars and fitness and meetings and events and childcare, a hotel. You've got a desk full of regulations, I imagine.
Yeah.
Before we get into sort of the steps you've taken to reopen and how you've done it and what you've learned and what is reopened, maybe take us back to April and what was the state of the club then? What did you have to close? How did you do it? What was still operating?
Yeah, it's been obviously been a fascinating, 5 months at this point, going back even into late February, early March, when COVID started to become a thing, and you started to be conscious of making sure you had to do extra things to keep people safe in the same context of providing as many services to your membership as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Our business is very much a relationship-based, personal basis type of business. We have members, so it's the same people coming in all the time. We feel a great responsibility to take care of them. We're all part of the same community. We're all in this together. Our members are owners of the facility, so we truly are all in this thing together. So our mantra all along has been, what are we allowed to open per guidelines? How do we do it safely, both for our members and guests and our team members? And then what is the business case for doing it? Because in some cases we may run into situations, and we'll run into situations where we're allowed to open it. You get into March, I think 15th, 16th was a big day for us. That was kind of the final order to shut down fitness and restaurants and bars.
Right.
And that's a big piece of our daily traffic. So that includes all of our catering businesses as well. You couldn't have those kinds of things. So shutting down was hard. So we basically had to shut down everything that we did, other than our daycare.
Yeah.
We call our daycare WeWax. And so we had 8 to 10 kids in the building throughout the entire shutdown, which was fantastic. It brought a little energy and a little joy to those of us that were still coming in to
those were kids of essential workers in the community.
Right. These were members that were working essential jobs, and they still had a need for daycare.
Yeah.
And by regulation and guidelines of the state, we were allowed to keep it open. So we were thrilled to be able to do that. And then we own the parking garage as well. So we kept that open for our members as well. And then again, it was just kind of a wait and see. We went through the process of basically closing down the building. Managing our HVAC systems in the unused portions of the building. We drained the water out of the pool. We did have a chance to complete some projects, some maintenance and repair projects that would have taken closing down certain areas and keeping members out of it. So we completely polished the terrazzo floor in the lobby, got that done, and didn't have to reroute very many people other than our 4-year-olds. So it was tough, but the people part of it obviously is the most difficult, trying to make decisions on your staffing. We've got a lot of longtime people and great relationships with all the members, and so we had to kind of try to navigate through all of those kinds of things. And then we closely monitored all along. World Health Organization, CDC, King County Public Health, state public health. Obviously, the orders out of the governor's office are critical as to when can you do things again? When can we reopen the various things? We had timelines based on all of the phases of 3 weeks from this and 3 weeks from that, and 2 and 3 and 4, and so we've been paying very close attention to that.
Yeah, and most of us only have to pay close attention to one function, whether it's office or retail or restaurant. You've got all of those plus some. So.
Yeah, and that's been certainly a lot of swirling, a lot of plates on sticks. But we've got great people in charge of each of those areas, so we have to understand completely what are the rules for restaurants, and again, restaurants versus bars, and various things. We closed our hotel, not because we had to mandate, there just wasn't any need for it. We have since reopened that. The fitness areas, we offer multiple utilities in the fitness areas, right? We have a pool. We also have group fitness classes, we have personal training, we have yoga, we have a spa, so massage, haircuts.
I forgot about the personal services.
The barber shop. And the rules are a little bit different in each of those areas. So, for example, the pool was allowed to reopen. Very randomly. Pools were supposed to open in phase 3, and then about a month ago they just came out and said you can open your pool with these following restrictions. You are allowed, if someone's in the pool, to give them a towel, and they are allowed to shower in your locker rooms. Personal training was allowed. One-on-one personal training was allowed. But that person, you can't give them a towel, and they can't take a shower in the facility. So you'd have 2 people using the same locker room. If you went for a swim, you can take a shower. If you just did a workout, then you can't take a shower.
So you're seeing some maybe of the inconsistencies in some of the guidelines sort of play out under one roof because you've got those functions.
Right, and that's just, again, you've got different rules for different areas of the club. So there's lots of things to pay attention to. The rules for yoga are different than the rules for Pilates. Your basketball court, we can use it as a fitness room. To do a group fitness class with the new guidelines that were also kind of came out of nowhere. Of you can allow individual workouts with 1 person per 300 square feet capacity, but if you're using the basketball court for basketball, there can't be more than 5 people in it. But so just kind of different facilities that we use for different things, and lots of moving parts on all that.
What's next? What do you hope to reopen next? Whether because of the guidelines you hope allow for it, or because you think there's going to be a stronger business case?
Well, the fitness piece is big for us. So getting that open, that's a key to what we do. That's a lot of the traffic that we get in. That's a lot of the phone calls and emails we've been getting from members over the last 3 months is when can I come in and work out again. So we're excited that's possible. The hotel is a big part of what we do here as well. Member usage, members sponsoring in their corporate travel. So from a revenue standpoint, that's going to be nice when travel opens up again, and that sounds like that's going to be a ways off. And we're not planning for a recovery in that until at least Q2. Start to make some progress in Q2 of next year. So that'll be big for us. Big pieces there. The catering business will be nice too when they start to allow gatherings of more people.
Are you thinking about repurposing some portions of the club and using the space differently in this period that we're in between sort of now and when a vaccine is widely available?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously you've had to pivot on a lot of things and create much more virtual things that you do. So we did. We had in our business plan ways to create value for the membership outside the clubhouse, and we had to go from walking to that to Mach 6 on that to implement 20 plus live Zoom fitness classes a week, virtual social events, trivia nights. We've got some hybrid events where you drive by and pick up your pre-fixe meal and 3 bottles of wine from a certain winemaker, and then you go home and our chef on a Zoom call tells you how to prepare the meal, and then we have the winemaker come on and talk about the wines that you're drinking and those kinds of things. So we're creating a lot more events as well. We're also looking at repurposing some of our hotel suites. With hotel occupancy down, we have the opportunity to use day suites for office use, with everybody working from home, but not necessarily want to continue working from home every day and the distractions that come with that as well.
Folks look toward potential for remote schooling to come back into their kitchens and living rooms, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're going to open up a couple of our hotel floors for day suite office use for the hotel. We're looking at the possibility of using our conference rooms because of the lack of gathering and those kinds of things too, to create some spaces for drop-in schooling necessarily. If we can create some spaces to help out the working families that have a place for their kids to go and get some help with that. So, we're repurposing everything we can.
What's been your sort of big lesson in the decisions you've had to make with your executive team in reopening and thinking about repurposing? Is there 1 or 2 lessons that you take away that you think are valuable for others in a similar position? There's not a lot of places just like the WAC, but
well, I think the biggest thing that we've discussed is the fact that how invigorating it is to get things done. There's great satisfaction in getting all of the things done that we've been able to get done. 90% of them are things that we wish we didn't have to do, but there also has been great value. You know, as they say, in every challenge there's great opportunity, and we really have made some advances in things that we have wanted to do for a while, and this, you know, threw us into the pool, literally and figuratively in our case, where we had to reinvent a lot of the things that we do, and we've been able to do that really successfully. It's helped our culture. I think it's helped our teamwork, our faith in each other, and our confidence that we can serve the membership under any circumstance.
Yeah, well, it's been impressive to watch you all pivot, as you've said. That's sort of the word of 2020, it feels like. But
Yeah.
pivoted in incredible ways, and to steward this great institution and make sure it's here on the other side of this pandemic to enrich the quality of life of its members. And so thanks for sharing your lessons in the story and your takeaways from leading the club over this most unusual and really challenging period.
Yeah, thank you. It's we're fortunate to be a part of a great community.
Yeah, terrific.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for joining us for this edition of Seattle Speaks.